This has huge implications for the Bucks season. A rivalry has been renewed, and as we march towards the playoffs down the home stretch of the season, this rivalry is going to become even more important. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Nathan Burton, here with Bucks Digest, your number one source on YouTube for all things Bucks. Thank you for being here with me today. We are going to talk about the rivalry between the Bucks and Pacers. Everyone, of course, is aware of the new blood injected into this rivalry with the game just the other night between the Pacers and Bucks. I'm going to do this to you guys. I'm going to do it to myself too. I'm going to play this one more time. I'm sure we're sick of seeing it, but this is the 4-point play by Tyrese Halliburton that sunk our Bucks just a few nights ago. You hate to see it, but it does add some flair to this rivalry that's been ongoing between these two teams. I'm going to talk to you guys about the rivalry, about the potential future of the rivalry and what we can expect down the stretch of the season. But first, I just want to ask everybody to please hit that subscribe button. We're chasing down 3,000 subscribers on the channel. Only 14% of you guys so far that are watching the videos have hit subscribe. So please hit that subscribe button. Let us know you're here if you're digging the content. We really appreciate it. Now, let's get back to the rivalry, right? We all know about last season when we were upset in the playoffs by the Pacers as the lower seed in 6 games. Of course, it goes back even further than that to the chippy matchups in the inaugural in-season tournament. These two teams just do not like each other, and this is a kind of newer rivalry. This isn't the Celtics and the Lakers or anything, of course, but this is a hotly contested rivalry. These games between the Pacers and the Bucks are always super competitive, always super high scoring. They are really fun to watch. We know there's no love lost between these two teams. If you're a Bucks fan and you've been watching, you remember, Giannis going to absolute war in the paint with Miles Turner. These two guys do not like each other. You know, of course, about Tyrese Halliburton ripping off the Dame time celebration. Not only the other night, he did it again, but in the playoffs last year as well. These two teams, they do not like each other, and they are cruising, it looks like, towards another playoff matchup. I'm going to bring up the standings here real quick for you guys. You can see right here that the Bucks are in 4th, the Pacers are in 5th, although they have identical records. You can see that the only team that can really throw a wrench in this whole thing is the Pistons. They're pretty close in the 6th spot, just a game or two back. But there's very unlikely to be any more movement than that in the standings. You can see the Bucks are pretty unlikely to climb up and surpass the Knicks at 3rd with this many games remaining. And both teams are just as unlikely to fall into those play-in spots in 7th and 8th. It's looking more and more every day like we are headed towards another matchup between the Bucks and Pacers in the playoffs, and I couldn't be more here for it. These games are awesome, and I think the Bucks are ready to perform. I'm going to just bring up here real quick. This is the last 8 games between the Bucks and Pacers. You can see the loss, of course, the other night. The other 2 games this season were won by the Bucks, although they're high-scoring, hotly contested affairs like we've become accustomed to in this rivalry. I dug into the stats a little bit more. This might seem a little simplistic, but I think we need to hang our hat on defense against this team. Every single one of the losses you see on the board up here was in a game where we let Indiana shoot more than 50%. Even if it's slightly more than 50%, they won those games. If we were able to hold them under 50% shooting, then the Bucks won those games. Now, of course, again, that might sound simplistic. If you hold a team, they miss more shots than they make, then most of the time you're going to win. But it's clear that the Pacers the Bucks offense don't have a problem performing against this team. They really just need to figure out how to stop them. And I think there's a couple things that come into play here. The first one that I want to talk about is the Bucks 3-point defense. Now, the Bucks are usually pretty good defensively defending the 3-point line, number 4 in the league overall, but there's something going on with their 3-point defense. I'm going to switch this and show you guys the stats over the last 3 games. Milwaukee falls to 20th in the league in that stretch. They need to get this fixed. The Pacers are a team that shoots a ton of threes and they make them. They're 8th in the league in 3-point percentage and they take a ton of them. If you watched the game the other night between the Bucks and Pacers, the Bucks were giving up like warm-up style jumpers all night to the Pacers. They need to fix this. I think one of the guys that can come in and really make a difference when it comes to perimeter defense is our newest starter, Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma's defense has been good since coming over in the trade, and he needs to step it up even more. He has an ability to guard 4 positions on the floor and really give the Bucks a lot of flexibility on that end. Another thing I want to talk about is the bench. I mean, we're going to talk about the new guys again here. Kevin Porter Jr.'s defense has been better than expected. And of course, we all know about the offensive punch he can bring. We also have Jericho Sims, who gives us some size that we haven't had off the bench in a while. And then you have our regular bench players that need to step up as well. Gary Trent Jr. and AJ Green specifically. Last year in the playoffs, this is another place where Indiana outshined the Bucks. I mean, there was one game last year where Indiana scored more than 50 points off the bench, which is almost unheard of in a playoff game. So we really need the bench to step up both offensively and defensively if we are going to beat these guys in the playoffs. But we all know what the major factor here is, right? It's Giannis. Giannis was hurt last year. Giannis needs to come in and play his game. Now, Giannis should be looking at these guys kind of like this right here. If he loves playing the Pacers, he does not like this team, and he plays hard against them. I'm going to show you guys right here. Giannis has averaged 36 points, 13 rebounds, and 6.7 assists in his last 10 games against the Pacers. He is going to absolutely murder this team if he comes in healthy. Now, that's the biggest point here. I think Giannis is coming in healthy, and it's due to one major change he's made down the stretch of this season, and that's adding his mid-range jumper. This is a shot that just a couple short years ago, defenses would have been glad to give Giannis. Really anything where he doesn't have a foot in the paint, they'd be thrilled to have him shoot. But he has quickly become elite at this shot. I couldn't believe this stat when I saw it. He shot 102 mid-range shots this season. That's 4th most in the NBA, and he's at 47%. He's shooting a better percentage on those shots than even DeMar DeRozan, Donovan Mitchell, and Kyrie Irving. Wow, I couldn't believe that. He has become an absolute weapon from the mid-range. It really speaks to Giannis's work ethic. Even at this late stage of his career, he refuses to rest on his laurels and is still adding things to his game. That is what you love to see as a Bucks fan. He spoke to this himself. He said, "Guys are giving me the shot. I have to shoot it because it's a less toll on my body. I've got to shoot it, man." He said, "It's part of my game I've worked on all summer long. These are playoff shots, in my opinion, and it is a shot I believe I can make." You love to see Giannis talk about his shot with this kind of confidence. You love to see him adding things to his game and coming into the playoffs healthy. I don't think the Pacers stand a chance against our Bucks with our newfound talent on the bench and a fully healthy Giannis coming in shooting the midi. I can't wait to see it, guys. I want to know what you guys think, though. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know how you think our Bucks stack up against the Pacers this season. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're digging the content. Guys, before we go, I do just want to take 1 second here to mention one other thing. You guys may have heard that Bucks owner and former player Junior Bridgman passed away from a cardiac event just a few days ago. Want to send condolences out to his family. He played almost 800 games for the Bucks and has been a class act in our front office. So thoughts and prayers go out to his family. He was by all accounts just a really good guy and a really good executive for our team. So thoughts and prayers to his family. Go Bucks. We'll see you next time.